everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Fantasy Variation. We've had a guest on these last 2 weeks. Man, we've got another one for you. Another special podcast. We got him back for the first time this season after coming back twice last season. We got Mr. Jake Nichols. Jake Nichols here. We played last week in fantasy. Happy to have him here in the studio. Jake, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Coming off a loss, so I'm not feeling the greatest about that, but I'm doing all right tonight. Glad to be here with you guys.
Hell yeah, glad to hear that. Yeah, a little spoiler there. Dak Street Boys picked up a win this week, moving up to 2-7. Maybe we can win out and make the playoffs. We got Colin here as always, though. Colin, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, man. Congrats on the win. Not a great football week. Took the loss in fantasy. Colts played their worst game of the year, and my Bearcats lost too. But it's all right. We're all bouncing back, so it's a new week, and we're happy to be here. How you doing tonight?
I was going to say, I'm right there with you. Lions lost a tough game this week, and then I had not an intramural game, a rec game, I guess, for basketball. We ended up losing by 3, so really close game. Got to apologize to my teammates. I was just getting cardio in out there tonight. So shout out Bennett, shout out Joe for some good games, but me, on the other hand, not so much. So looking to bounce back next week and get into this postseason here in a month or so.
There we go.
All right, so yeah, I guess we can go ahead and get into the games. Maybe we go ahead and lead off with me and Nichols' game. Like I said, I actually was able to pick up a win this week, so we're up to 2-7. Nichols, I think this brings you to 6-3. The final score of this one was 132 to about 101. Nichols, anything you want to say on your team here after the tough loss, but obviously still looking good for playoff contention so far?
Yeah, I mean, it was looking pretty close going into the Monday night game. You obviously had a lot of people playing on the Monday night game, 3 people. Just an overall flop. Obviously, my point centers are they didn't perform. When you get 21, how much did I get out of Laporta? 21, whatever I got out of him, and you lose, it's kind of a tough week. But like just some things like DK had a horrible game. That's whatever. You have that. Jamar Chase had another good week. Not great, but one thing I wanted to point out with this, he had 17.1 points. In the last 4 weeks, this is what his targets are: 12, 23, 19, and now 8 this last week. A lot of the mouths to feed in Cincinnati, but that's a tough one. Bucky Irving coming back for me, that him being out's been killing me. It's just such a rough thing when you have that high of a draft pick out for so long. And then the heart and soul, man, Ham Scattaboo is done for the year. You guys had a lot to say about that pick at the beginning of the season this year. I came into the draft wanting Scattaboo, and I also wanted his handcuff Tracy. I thought that was going to be a really fun thing to have on my team this year, and it was until it wasn't anymore. So, sucks, but that is that. And one other thing I have to say about my roster this year: King Henry still averaging 4.9 yards per carry. The points have to come eventually, right? He's still performing. He mental block with some fumbles, but it is what it is on that front. Yeah, I mean, I'll give it back to you guys here, but just a tough week for me.
Yep,
like
yeah.
Sorry, you go.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, you've obviously, I think we talked about last episode, how your last 3 weeks, you've been playing really well, but not able to pick up the wins despite the good scoring weeks. But this week, obviously, tough one for you. Another guy, Jordan Love, brutal game against the Panthers. He's been such a tough guy to evaluate. I feel like I was really high on him as a quarterback kind of at the beginning of last year, but this season really hasn't given me a lot to be excited about, with the Packers kind of losing a lot of games to bad teams. But I guess just talking about my team a little bit, obviously a couple big plugins this week in Kyle Monungai and Travion Henderson, with both the starters for those offenses going out. So they both step in and have pretty good games. Mike Vrabel might be a terrorist. I don't know why Travion Henderson is still like getting less than 50% of the work, about 50% of the work, even with Stevenson and Gibson out. So seems like that was just a horrible pick, and we're just going to have to deal with the repercussions here the rest of the year. Kyle Monungai was absolutely fantastic, though. He's playing against the Bengals, so probably not too much to take away from it, but great spot start for me, at least in that situation. Don't think I have a lot to add on my team. Obviously, when the Cowboys play well, I play well. They didn't have the best game this week, but the rest of the team was able to pick up the slack for the most part and score a lot of points. We'll see what we can do with the running backs as well. I mean, a lot's going to come down to if these running backs can keep performing, and if the Cowboys offense can keep going. Unfortunately, though, the Cowboys are on a bye this week, and I am in pretty much win-out territory. So my lineup looks god-awful this week. I'm not feeling super confident. We'll see what we can do. I don't even know who I play this week, but shout out them. I think it's Barrett, so he's going to get another fucking win, even though I said his team sucks at the beginning of the year. So shout out.
Barrett? First of all, Tommy, great win. Congrats on the win. don't let him get hot, man. 2-7. He's not out of it yet. Nichols, back to your team with Derrick Henry. I was about to say, like Michael said earlier, Derrick Henry without Lamar is like lightning with no Guido. It does not work out. Guido's back. Lightning's gonna cook. So Derrick Henry should go back. And I do got to give you props for Scatterbill. Heartbreaking injury there, but man, I was totally shitting on him. He was amazing. So tough loss there. But great pick there. So do got to apologize.
Yeah, that's he's like I just loved him as a college player. Like watching him play college football was a lot of fun. And it was one of those things where I wasn't entirely sold on him being an NFL player, but if it was one of those things where it's like, if he is that fun in the NFL, it's going to be fun to have him on your fantasy team because rooting for that is always fun. So, like, it sucks. I'm glad I kind of got the last laugh as far as him performing as a fantasy player, but it is what it is with injuries. Obviously, we're playing fantasy football. It happens. I do have some more things to add.
Mm-hmm.
This year, my lowest point total is 98.42. I am consistently scoring 100 points or more. It's just not a lot of points. The record has been reflecting, I guess the opposite of reflecting my points. I should not be 6-3. Plain and simple, shouldn't be. It's the last 3 weeks or the prior 3 weeks until this last week, like scoring 140 is the flashes of what I can do, like, or I guess my team can do, but it's, I don't know. It's a slippery slope when you're relying on just a couple of guys like that. And then I do want to touch on something that you guys talked about, Laporta and Gadsden on my team. The whole starter sit, it's already becoming a headache. Looking at it this week, it's like Laporta is going against Washington. He is, I don't know, he's projected more, but like the usage for Gadsden is so much, like his volume is like a wide receiver's volume, and it's really hard to pass on that. And another like situation I put myself in is Knicks and Love. I hate streaming them. I wish I just wouldn't have picked up Love, but now I feel like I almost have to stream them because of the inconsistencies for both of them. So I don't know. It's going to be a rough road ahead. I think the losses are showing. The 6-0 runs over, and it's now my confidence is shaken. And Riley's talking shit in the group message now too. So dealing with that's going to suck too.
I say pick your guy at QB and just roll with him. That's always tough, and you're just going to beat yourself up with mixing them up each week. But that is tough.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff you just said. I feel like you've been in the same boat as me this year. Just our records are looking a lot different. Just a lot of injuries piling up so far, relying on a few guys, and for this week, going to be in a rough boat as well because Jamar Chase on a bye, and then Bucky Irving, I saw he wasn't practicing today, so we'll see how he progresses as the week goes on. But probably not looking great coming off of a bye and still not practicing. So yeah, I'd much rather be 6-3 and in your shoes though. So see if you can get some momentum. You still got the best wide receiver in the league, or one of the top 2 wide receivers in the league on your team, and Derrick Henry and Bucky Irving if he comes back. You've definitely got some pieces to make a run if all those guys are healthy, like we were talking about with Tanish. So
100%. Alrighty. Want to move on to the next matchup? You guys good with that?
Yeah, take it over.
Alrighty. So this week took a loss to the Ironheads, 133-123. Shout out the Ironheads. Overall, pretty good week. Zach got Lamar back, which was pretty good for him. Maybe he played last week too. I honestly forget. But 25 out of him, and then Achan 16. Big boost from DJ Moore at 23. So overall, I mean, neither one of us really had a terrible week. If we go look at my team, definitely had some stinky efforts out of some guys. Chargers running back dude, not even going to say his name, 3 points. This is getting a little rough. I kind of think he's going to be a boomer bust. Really just hoping that Hampton comes back. Still, I have no clue if he will, but if he can come back, like probably like 2 weeks before the playoffs, get ramped up, and fingers crossed I make the playoffs, and he's ready by then, that would be super ideal for my team. And then Cortland Sutton, 1 catch. It was a 30-yard touchdown, so was happy with that. but then we had Tyler Warren 7.6, and James Cook 13.5. So not the best week. Still put up 123. Really thanks to McCaffrey's 34 points. So we take it. We'll move on. We move to 6-3.
You forgot a very important point, though, Colin. Shocker. Jameson Williams on the bench with 16.5 points. So
exactly.
Don't be shocked.
Great call. But yeah, he let me double check. I think he should be on my bench this week for sure. Yeah, I don't see. I'm not going to get him ahead of myself. He will most likely be on my bench. If he is, I'll let everybody know so we can take his overs.
Dude, you are not putting him in your lineup if we're going to the game. You are not putting him in the lineup. I will not let that happen on game day. So I'm just going to say that right now.
All right, he's not in my lineup. He won't touch it.
W. All right, I don't think I have much more to add. I feel like I've said a lot on both your teams. I really do like both these teams going into the playoffs, so don't think I have much more to add here.
Well, oh, I did want to shout out me, Yost, Dean, and Nichols, all 6-3. We got 4 teams tied for first place at 6-3. And then Barrett 5-4, Kanish 4-5, Cole 4-5. Then honestly, literally everybody is in this. I think it's been kind of like the most close, probably. Like there's really nobody running away with it. And the 3 teams that were 6-2 last week all lost. So kind of random thing there. But
great stat there.
It's a big league shift when you have all of your like number 1 teams all lose at the same time. That's like a giant, flips everything on its head. What a that statistical anomaly that is, really. But
absolutely crazy. I mean, massive week for Zach. That's huge for him. But yeah, guess that's all I had on that one. You guys want to move to what's next on my thing? Riley versus Dean.
Damn, I didn't think you'd want to go there first.
We'll go to him. Riley gets the win, 116-100. Really just a poor effort by Dean's team. Really haven't seen this much this year. Gets Odunze 0 points. Not really expecting that. He's been a good
hold up real quick, Colin. You want to talk about a statistical anomaly? Caleb Williams having 38 or 39 points and Rome Odunze having 0. I mean, come on, what's going on here?
So true. Yeah, but I mean, really nobody on Dean's team does much. He did have Judkins and Igbuka on bye weeks, so those are 2 guys that are definitely going to be in his lineup moving forward. And then JT 7 points, definitely not a good one for him there. But no worries, JT will be back. He'll win the MVP, and it's all going to be all right for Dean. Over on Riley's side, Dart 27, Devontae. Yeah, I think I hated him at like wide receiver 5. So.
Oh, you don't hate Devontae Adams. I've already paid the price too many times this year.
We'll leave that there, but I'll kick it over to you guys.
I don't think I have too much more to add off of what you said. I will say apologies to Dean for betting $5 on a Colts money line Jonathan Taylor touchdown parlay. That's hand up on me. I mean, I just can't be doing that to him like that. So sorry, that's all my fault. And then also got to talk about Jaden Daniels a little bit. I mean, definitely looking like he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Brutal injury. So sucks to see that as always. Definitely hoping he makes a good recovery and is at least good to come back next year. But maybe not a huge blow to Dean's fantasy team. He's still got Justin Herbert on his roster as well. So that should be a nice guy to plug and play. I mean, he already played Herbert this week over Jaden Daniels. So it doesn't seem to be a problem thus far. And then Riley, I guess Jackson Dart looking like a pretty solid quarterback, but he does have Jalen Hurts, so probably not going to be much consequence there picking him up. But very solid week for him this week that propelled him to the win. So shout out Riley for the W, or maybe no shout out for Riley for the W.
No shouts.
I don't have much to add on the whole matchup for them, but I will say out of all of the teams in the league, I would want to match up against Dean the least in the playoffs. It's a scary roster. I'll leave it at that. Terrifying roster.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree with you. He's got a lot of guys that at any time can go for 30, 35 points. And it's definitely very scary in the playoffs. Moving on. I'll let you pick, Tommy, or Nichols. We got 2 matchups left.
We got to talk about Mr. Ryan Michael Elgin, I think. What a week for him. 169 to 108 against Tanish. I want to say too, I think this is the first time Tanish has scored between 100 and 150 all year. I mean, just statistical anomalies all over the place. But yeah, Elgin's team obviously propelled by Brock Bowers with a 43-point performance off of an injury. So crazy to see that. Also, T. Higgins adding 33 of his own. Matthew Stafford pitching in 27. Marvin Harrison getting 23 on Monday night. I mean, everyone on his team just balling out, helping him propel to the win. Tanisha's team still, I think, best RB tandem in the league. Colin, thoughts? But other than that, yeah, I think Tanisha's still got a solid team if he can stay healthy. Elgin, yeah, I mean, he's surprising me. He's up to 3-6. I feel like we've been shitting on him, but all of a sudden everyone's kind of in the thick of things, like you said, after all the top teams lost this week. So we'll see if he can keep the momentum going. I mean, he's still in front of me, so I can't really be talking shit.
Absolutely. I did want to check that stat for you. That is the first time he scored between 102 and 140. And that's actually insane. He's gone over it just as much as he's gone under it. So pretty good stat there.
That's insane.
It sure is.
He's the opposite of your team, Nichols, just the opposite of consistency.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely bonkers week for Brock Bowers. How do you guys feel with Jacoby gone? I feel like, I mean, Brock might eat, but he also might get like 4 dudes guarding him. I don't know what to think. I mean, obviously Jacoby's not that good, but and like Trey Tucker is all right, but I don't know really what to make of that. You guys have any thoughts there?
I think Brock Bowers is one of those guys where he is such an actual matchup nightmare that losing a complimentary piece doesn't hurt him nearly as bad. So like when you watch those Raiders games, they move him around the field a lot. They obviously he's going to be a key piece for them in whatever they're doing on offense. In just his matchup nightmare, whatever status if you want to call it. Just because of that, I don't think Jacoby Myers going away is that going to affect him that much, to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. I think he's still going to ball out. And like we were talking about, I think it was last night, Colin, but like the Raiders are always going to be in like a good game script for like wide receiver, tight end. So I feel like Brock Bowers is always going to find himself just getting a hell of a lot of targets, especially with their second best receiver now out of town. So yeah, we'll see how things play out. I mean, maybe things don't always work out like you would think, like with stuff like that. Like maybe he actually does start drawing a lot more double teams, triple teams, stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see the rest of the season. I don't think it's a concern, though. I definitely would want to have him over Trey McBride the rest of the way, though.
Very fair. I just realized Bowers was in Elgin's flex. He went 2 tight end this week. He had Kelsey.
Hell yeah. There's no better tight than that.
That's either the site of confidence or a team that is completely broken. There's no in between.
Yeah, I will say in my work league, I've got Brock Bowers and I got Gadsden off waivers too. So I might just be rolling out the 12 personnel like Elgin the rest of the year. We'll see.
There we go. I actually started 2 tight ends in one league. I had Tyler Warren and Tucker Kraft, and then
Rip.
Poor Tucker. I know.
You have those 2 in every fucking league, bro.
I went with very similar rosters on accident in a lot of teams. I think Omari and Hampton, Sutton, Warren, Kraft. I have them on like 3 teams. All 4 of those guys.
Are you talking about your Tyler Warren or are you talking about Jalen Warren? I feel like Jalen Warren has really been on your roster every year that he's been in the league.
Tyler Warren. This is actually the only roster I have Jalen Warren on.
Is it really? Oh, like out of your teams this year. I was going to say, you've had him before this year.
No, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, good win for Elgin. I got nothing more to add on that one.
Yeah, let's kick it over to Ron then. I mean, another big score this week for him. We've been talking about him a lot. I feel like he's been probably the person suffering the most from tough matchups so far this year. And now he's just been putting up big scores. So it doesn't really matter when you're putting up big scores like that. He wins 164 to 142 over Barrett. So obviously another good effort by Barrett. Jackson Smith and Jigba comes back off the bye and does his thing. Caleb Williams and Drake London with absolutely massive games, but rest of the team really let him down. No one else scored double-digit points. So Cole was able to coast to the victory, and his team was pretty well-rounded. Yeah, everyone on his team actually scored 11-plus points except for his defense with 9. So shout out to Cole's team, everyone pitching in there. Another great win for him. Yeah, I feel like you said, Colin, Cole's teams are always so resilient. You can't ever count him out. He's always going to be in the thick of things, even if he's looking rough at the beginning. You already know he's going to be battling for those 5 and 6 seeds to make life hard on those higher seeds. So we'll see if Ron can keep rolling.
I got to add too, Josh Allen, Puka Nacua, and Rashi Rice. If those three are healthy in the playoffs, I am very scared of that team as well. We'll see.
Yeah, fantastic point. Yeah, I mean, I was a huge Rasheed Rice guy going into the draft last year. I wasn't sure what to expect coming off of like the suspension ACL this year, but man, he has not missed a beat with 23, 26, 19 in his 3 games so far. So it doesn't seem to be slowing him down too much. He's on a bye this week though, so Ron won't have him for this matchup, unfortunately. But yeah, Wheels should be up for the last 7 games of the season for him, or 6, I guess, for fantasy.
Totally.
The only thing I have to say about this this matchup is this is kind of a glimpse into what happens to Barrett's team if he gets a running back injury. Now, he scored a lot of points, don't get me wrong, but let's look at the points out of the running backs. It's rough if he gets an injury at the running back position. You guys have talked about it on the pod before, but this is, I mean, proof's in the pudding here. He got lucky with a lot of points from a lot of other positions, but he's thin at running back, and that's a scary thing, especially getting late into the year now and injuries are starting to pile up. That's going to be rough if he gets an injury at running back.
Yeah,
I agree. I was going to say he might actually get lucky for a couple weeks. I think that Dowdle might miss some time from a couple things that I saw. And yeah, I mean, if Saquon or Javonte goes down, he is screwed. I did want to call out. Look at their 2 benches. I know we got a lot of buys and injuries, but like that has got to be like the lowest combined score out of a bench from those 2. Like we got like no points there. So
that's crazy.
Dude, look at Cole's too. His was projected like 52 even. I mean, Barrett was projected 20 bench points and got 17, but Cole was projected 52 and got 13.
yeah, absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and that's a good call on Nichols. I probably should have been the one harping on that because I've talked about it every week to try to salvage the shitting that I did on Barrett's team at the beginning of the year. So,
yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like there's your look at the future if you have an injury, Barrett, and it's not fun.
yeah,
absolutely. Alrighty, you guys ready for best bets?
I'm ready for love hates if that's what you mean.
Love hates, and we're gonna recap them first.
There we go.
All right, I'll get mine out of the way. What's new? 0-3. Hated Jalen Warren against the Colts. Said RB12. He went RB9. Hated Devontae Adams, a wide receiver 9. Yep, he caught multiple touchdowns, wide receiver 3. And then tried to switch it up. We love the Patriots defense. 13 versus the Falcons. Yeah, they finished as the 25th defense. There's only 32 teams, so it was rough. We moved to 5-15 on the season. Take it away, Tommy.
I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but there were also teams on a bye, so there weren't even 32 teams. I just wanted to put that out there.
Were there 26 teams that played? They might have been.
There were probably not more than 28, I would guess, that played.
Oh my God, you're totally right.
Yeah, if you want to see, go ahead and look it up on the side. I guess for Jalen Warren, too, I do want to say this was actually a great pick. He got bailed out by a 1-yard touchdown and a 2-yard touchdown, and I feel like the Colts played like the worst fucking game possible and still kind of kept it close. So really weird game. I feel like Jalen Warren on a normal day wouldn't be hitting that or whatever. But yeah, that's just how shit's been going for you this year. So moving on to my picks, 2-1 this week to move to 12-9 on the season. We love Chase Brown and T. Higgins this week. They both balled out. Huge scoring game in that Cincinnati Bears game. I want to say the total ended up being like 90-ish points or so. So obviously everyone except for Romo Dunze was eating in that one. Chase Brown finishes as RB6, and I loved him at 16. T. Higgins finishes as wide receiver 2, and I loved him at 21. As for the loss, I had Jordan Addison at wide receiver 29 against Detroit. He finishes as wide receiver 47. I think he had like 8 or 9 points, so not a huge game for him. I feel like this was just a really weird game. Not a whole lot going on offense for either side, so not a lot of guys picking points. And I kind of glossed over. I'm not going to shit on Jahmyr Gibbs, but he had like 5 points for Elgin's team. So not a lot of guys putting up points in that one. So tough blow there for Addison.
Absolutely. Yeah, and honestly, I was kind of surprised to see him all the way down at 47 with like he had like 8.5. I feel like if he gets like one more catch for like 15 yards, low-key might put him like right in that like 30 range. So didn't miss by much, even though he didn't really have a good game.
Yeah, Lions secondary just too nice, I guess.
So.
And yeah, I guess we gotta recap Tanish's picks as well. We're gonna give him the honorary 2-1 this week. He loved DeAndre Swift. He didn't end up playing last week, but Kyle Monangai finishes as RB3. And Tanish was saying stuff like Swift is gonna get 20 carries, a touchdown. Monangai did the exact same shit, so we're gonna give him the honorary W there. He hated Tyrone Tracy at RB17, and he finishes RB34. So a great call out that for that running back. I will say it was a weird game. I think they kind of split the work 50-50, but the Giants were kind of getting beat bad pretty early. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to take away from that one, I guess. I wouldn't expect Devin Singletary to kind of be the lead back here in New York, but I guess we'll see how things play out because Tyrone Tracy already lost his job to somebody else this year. And then he loved Jalen Waddle at wide receiver 14 against Baltimore. He finishes as wide receiver 25. So not a bad call there. He even said it was kind of rich taking him at wide receiver 14, but still loved it, but it comes up a little short there. So tough blow.
Yep, I agree. Shout out to Nish though. We'll give him the 2-1. All right, Nichols, do you want to lead us off for love hates this week?
Absolutely. I know, Tommy, did you just say you don't like Tyrone Tracy all that much, losing his starting job already and stuff
I
like
did
that?
say I don't believe in Devin Singletary. I do believe in Tyrone Tracy. I will say that.
Okay.
Last week.
All right. Okay. Well, so I am going to love Tyrone Tracy this week, RB20. So the reason I like this is, for one, he is kind of an athletic freak. He, like, when you watch him run, you watch him play football, he can move just an absolute freak. And obviously we talked about Scadaboo going down. They need to find another spark in the backfield. And I think replacing Scadaboo as far as like being a teammate and like a lovable guy, nobody's going to be able to replace that. But as far as production goes, I think Tracy's the next best guy. And I think 20 is just way too low for what they probably want to get going in the backfield, especially because it was a pretty rough week for him last week. So they got to get that going, and I think they're going to.
Yeah, the only thing that like I'm a little weary about is, like we mentioned, Singletary. Like, he's projected like 10 points in fantasy. Obviously, I don't think anyone's picked him up. I think he's still sitting on the waivers right now. And I don't really have any intention to pick him up, but a little concerning he's projected that much. But I mean, at running back 20, assuming Tracy takes it over, or not takes it over, keeps the lead role. I like that spot.
Nichols, I got to say, we're in lockstep this week. I actually almost picked Tyrone Tracy for this pick. It's not even because like I think he's going to take like a crazy workload or whatever. Like, I still think it's going to be like a 60-40 split probably in favor of Tracy. But just going against the Bears defense, like seeing what the Bengals did to them last week, like that's just a defense I want to attack. So I love this pick. I think he's got a good chance of getting in the end zone, maybe getting a couple receptions as well. So
100%.
He's also a converted wide receiver out of college. And so I like, obviously his development was a little bit stunted at the beginning of this year and everything like that. I'm a full-on believer in Tyrone Tracy. Like, I think he is an actual legitimate great running back in the NFL. It's just he hasn't really been able to show it that much. So he's one of those guys where I like him a lot. So
yep, I think this is a great spot for him to break out if he's going to do it. So we'll see. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Tommy, you want to go with your first one?
Sure. I'm sure you're excited for me to get to my picks because I'm loving on guys from your team for a lot of this segment. First guy I'm going to go to running back and love Kamani Vidal at running back 23. Let me go ahead and pull up his stats here. I had him up and then I closed them, but I don't think I have a lot of analysis for a lot of the picks in this episode. So if I actually have the stuff up, I would be able to keep this pretty quick. But he has been kind of going like low score, high score, kind of alternating these last couple of weeks. That's the only data I'm going to go with. In the 5 games where he's gotten at least 1 touch, he has gone 3 points, then 23, then 8, then 20, then 3. So he's set up in a great spot here against Pittsburgh. I think they've been kind of like middle of the pack against running backs so far this year. So it's not a fantastic matchup. We're just going to say F it and go with Kamani Vidal this week and ride the up and down train that we've got going for you, Colin.
I love to hear it. No more efforts from me, or no more thoughts from me. He's going off this week. All right, let's go to my first pick. We're going to love Mr. Mark Andrews at tight end 13. They're playing in Minnesota. My only rationale here is the Vikings have given up a touchdown to a tight end 4 straight weeks. Lamar's throwing to Mark Andrews this week. He's going to catch a touchdown, and he's going to finish with tight end 12. I'm calling it now.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I read this earlier when you said you were picking. I was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" But honestly, after hearing that, I love the pick. We'll see if they can make it 5 in a row.
Dude, I got nothing going for me on these love hates. I'm looking for something, man. I'm throwing darts.
All right. Well, we'll see if that one can hit this week. I do like that play now all of a sudden. And then Nichols, why don't we throw it back over to you for your second love hate? And I think I'm a pretty big fan of this one.
Yeah, so I think we can probably do this one together because I think you have this too. Cortland Sutton at wide receiver 23. Last week, Colin said, one catch for 30 yards, but it was a touchdown. He is one of those guys, kind of going back to Tracy. I'm a big believer in Cortland Sutton. He is a truly talented route runner. And I mean, as far as getting the ball, who are they going against again? Because I think that was a big part
Oakland.
of. Yeah, Oakland. I think he is going to have just a heyday going against their secondary. He's a great player. 23 is way too low for him. I think he's going to go off this week.
Yeah, no, I love this pick. First of all, Colin, I don't know if you heard, but the Raiders actually moved to Vegas a few years ago, so that's where they're playing now.
What am I doing?
I knew what he meant.
I'll stop being a dick. All right. I was going to say the only point I had for this one, honestly, besides the Raiders being I guess I should say they've given up the 4th most points to wide receivers. They're 29th ranked on the app. And then in his last, what is this? I guess the whole season we can even look at. We've got a 9-game sample size. He's got at least 6 targets in 7 out of 9 games, which for a guy like him, he's getting a lot of those valuable, deeper end zone targets. So I think that's a great look for him. And as long as they don't just completely blow out the Raiders and just like run the football down their throats, I think that Cortland Sutton should have a good day. The offense in general should have a good day. So hopefully they get a lot done through the air and a lot through Cortland Sutton.
To Tommy's point, I really hope I'm wrong here. I feel like this game is going to be crazy ugly. And this Raiders team, obviously, I mean, they traded away Jacoby Myers. I don't know what they are. They're absolutely horrible. And I think the Broncos are going to run this ball and they're going to slow it down, and it's going to be crazy ugly. I didn't take it as a best bet, but the over/under is at 42.5. Love the under there. It's a Thursday night game, which always gets weird. I really hope I'm wrong. Hopefully the Raiders in Las Vegas are throwing the ball, keep this game quick and fast paced. But that's my only concern. Again, really hope I'm wrong. Got Sutton on my team, definitely starting him. So I'm rooting for it.
I do think that's the only thing that can kill this is if it's a slow paced game. So yeah.
Colin just keeps throwing me lobs out here. I think if Colin's hating on this pick, I think we're in business so far. I love the pick even more.
Yeah, why did I even play along there? I should have just shot him down right from the get go.
Yeah, I hope I'm jinxing myself, man. I hope he goes off. But anyways, all right. Well, let's get into my second pick. We're gonna love Keenan Allen at wide receiver 23 versus Pittsburgh. This Pittsburgh D has been pretty bad. I almost love Justin Herbert this week, but I was like, I'm not. Had a weird feeling about it. I do think Herbert's going to throw for a ton of yards here. This game does feel a little weird to me. And the reason I picked Keenan Allen, I saw Ladd was like 11, and I didn't want to go to him. Keenan, only the past 2 weeks, has only had 5 targets. But before that week, he had 14 targets against my Colts. But I'm expecting him to get back to it this week. I know that Herbert's got a lot of targets or a lot of mouths to feed. We talked about the tight end, but I'm looking for Keenan to get right this game. Last week against the Steelers, even though the Colts played horribly, Jones threw for like 350 yards. All the wide receivers ate. Pittman, Pierce, Downs. Did I say that was going to happen this last week on the podcast, Tommy? Did I say like I was hyping up someone and I was like, Pierce, Downs, and Pittman are all going to be like top 5 wide receivers. I don't know what they finished, but they all ate. So hopefully all these Chargers wide receivers can eat, and Slayer finishes above 23.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have.
What you got?
I don't think I have much more to add, honestly. Keenan Allen has had kind of like a weird year, so I don't know how much I'd want to bet on him at this point, but this is definitely a good time to buy low. Where'd you say he was ranked at?
23.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I love the pick. I thought he was going to be a lot higher than that. When I had picked Lad McConkey 2 weeks ago, Keenan was at 11 going up against the Vikings. So I kind of thought he would be a lot higher up. So, yeah, if he's all the way down to 25, I like that pick.
We will see. All right, Nichols, take us home with your third.
So I'm going back to wide receiver, and I'm going to hate A.J. Brown at wide receiver 6. And this is going to turn into a little bit of a spiel on why I don't think A.J. Brown is a fantasy superstar. So he is the most boomer bust player in the NFL. I'll start with this. Right now, Green Bay allows 197 passing yards per game. That's 9th best in the NFL. That's the reason I'm hating him. It's just a bad matchup for him. But he has more games under 14 points than he does over for the entire year so far. That includes a 1.8 in week 1, and that was on 1 target. And then in week 4, he had 2.7 on 9 targets. His most targets on the entire year is 10. He's right now he's at the 38th wide receiver in the NFL, and I just think the Eagles misuse him. He's a big physical wide receiver, and the looks he gets are not the looks that a type of the player that he is should be getting. It's just once he is out of Philly, I will call him a fantasy superstar again, but the boomer bust is just too much for me. And he's wide receiver 6 this week. Those projections have to come down because he's not the superstar projections that he's getting anymore. It's just the usage isn't there. So shoot it over to you guys.
I don't know. Did you mention that he's been hurt too?
I didn't say that. No.
Yeah, he's coming back after an injury. I totally agree with you. I've hated AJ Brown a couple times this year too. 6 seems super high, but yeah, I like the pick.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you said. I want to say A.J. Brown was one of my favorite picks from the draft. I think he went like beginning of round 3, so he kind of slipped a little bit compared to where I expected him to go, so that's why I love the pick. Yeah, I think like you said, like I feel like Philly just doesn't use him in the best way. Like obviously they're such a dominant team running the ball for the most part. I guess this year hasn't been like fantastic compared to what we saw the year before, but obviously they run the ball so well, and I feel like he's, like you said, he's such like a good physical big receiver. Like sometimes you're just like, screw it, like just go play one-on-one. We're not going to draw anything up for you. Like just try to get open. It's like, that's not how all the other top wide receivers in the league operate. Like the coaches draw up plays for them, and it seems like A.J. Brown, they just don't do that. So like you said, I mean, when coaches aren't drawing up plays for a guy, obviously it's hard for you to call him a fantasy superstar at that point. So I really like this pick. Wide receiver 6 is very, very high.
Yeah, they seem to play a lot of like schoolyard football with A.J. Brown, and it's because I just don't think they know how to use him. At the end of the day, he is one of the most talented wide receivers in the NFL. But like I said, for as long as he's in Philly, I just don't think he's that good of a fantasy option. I think you get way more out of a lot of other people.
And I mean, I guess my last point here, there's really no room for him to finish above wide receiver 6. We got Cortland Sutton, that's going to be number 1 this week. Keenan Allen, number 2. Pittman, 3. Josh Downs, 4. Alec Pierce, 5. So really, really not a ton of room there. Might throw Amon-Ra St. Brown in there too. So love that.
And bench Jameson Williams. He's got to be up there as well.
So true. So true. All right, Tommy, who you got for your third?
Oh, I that whole time I forgot I was one up. I was like, Nichols, take it away in my head. Yeah, my last one here is going to be loving Juwan Johnson at tight end 18 this week against the Panthers. I don't have much more to add, honestly. He is coming off of a pretty solid week. He had a good start to the season, then started to kind of fall off a little bit after that. But coming off of a solid week this week, they did just trade away Rashid Shaheed, so I think that's going to be a huge boost for him. He already now steps in as the number 2 target here. I think 18 is just too low when we're talking about a number 2 target on the team. I know he's on the Saints, so they could always have a crappy day, but they are playing the Panthers. So I feel like if there's ever a time for them to have a good offensive day, it's going to be this week. And I think if he's playing the Panthers, he's probably got a decent chance to score despite being on a crappy offense, like I said. So this isn't like the sexiest pick ever, but I just think 18 is a little disrespectful for a guy that just got a very big bump at the trade deadline.
Dude, he's the number 10 tight end on the year. Last 3 weeks, 12.9, 10.3, 12.1. I feel like that's definitely hitting 18.
Sorry, Juwan. I didn't realize you had 3 good weeks in a row. I only saw the most recent one.
Yeah, great rationale there. I like it.
Yeah. I think that's just like a mathematically makes sense kind of pick. Like his volume's naturally going to go up here, so I think they are kind of disrespecting that whole trade that happened. So great pick.
Yeah, and Colin, I will say if I'll take him 15 plus here. 18 is kind of cheap, so we'll say 15 plus for him to finish is good with me.
No worries, no worries. He's gonna finish top 5 tight end. So
yeah, we can move it to that if we want to. That's cool.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, can I say one?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Do you have one more pick?
I do, but go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, I thought we wrapped that up. I was just going to bring up, I wanted so badly to pick one of my other guys, Wan'Dale Robinson, for this. He's looking like he's poised to actually be a pretty good fantasy option. The Jackson Dart being who he is helping that a lot, but he is one of those guys. He's like an actual talented wide receiver. He's never played with a good quarterback in his entire career. And if he has, he probably was just buried in a depth chart. I'm really excited to see what Wan'Dale Robinson can do for the Giants because they're just an exciting team. I'm rooting for them. But yeah, sorry, Colin. Sorry for interrupting.
No, I like that call out, and I feel like we do the same shit every year with Wan'Dale Robinson. Where like nobody cares about him during the draft or like the first month of the season, then all of a sudden it's like, why was Wan'Dale Robinson on waivers for like 3 weeks? Because he's like very flexible every single week, and this year with the Neighbors injury especially, I mean, he's definitely stepping into a larger role. So yeah, we'll see what he can do the rest of the year. He's on your team, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be a big boost, especially with all the injuries you have. So nice pick up there. When did you pick him up? I'm curious. Do you know?
Yeah, go ahead and look at that. I might have drafted him actually.
He added him on September 4th.
Oh, so even before the season started. Great pickup.
Yeah.
I
feel like he's always hanging on waivers for a couple weeks though at the beginning of every year, and then we're always like, why was he on waivers? So yeah, great pickup. You obviously got him before the season started. So
I was gonna say I forget when Neighbors got hurt, but if we look at the past 4 weeks, he had 20.4, 15.5 on 12 targets. 7.8, but then last week 11 targets too. So he's definitely getting looks. So I agree, Nichols.
PPR machine.
PPR machine. All right. Last pick here. Last week we tried to do something different to turn our luck. That didn't work. This week we go to my mother and she says she loves Josh Jacobs at running back 8. So we are going to take that. He's the number 5 running back on the year. So hopefully he keeps that. He plays the Eagles. Hopefully it's a high scoring game. He gets in the end zone a couple times. That's all I got to say.
Is this the love-hate equivalent to a dignity pick bet from Jake Miller? Or I feel like we're witnessing something special here. We're so desperate we're getting the mom to pick.
See, a dignity bet I am going to be confident in. I am not confident in this. So we're throwing darts here.
Oh man, and if Colin's not confident in this one, I might be betting every Josh Jacobs over that is available on the sports books.
That would be smart.
Yeah, but no, I don't have anything to add other than great pick, Kristen. I'm going to be rooting for this one this week.
I'm cheering for this one more than any of the other picks of the entire week.
And you know what else? You know what else? Why I like this pick? I told her to pick a player from her fantasy team because we got a family league. She plays me this week, so I'm like, it's bound to happen. Josh Jacobs 40 bomb coming.
Bet the house on Josh Jacobs this week.
Absolutely, yeah. And I was gonna say, I mean, if I go 0-3 and you get this one win here, Colin, I'll honestly be happy with the week. So I'm rooting for this pick more than anything else, like Nichols said.
There we go. Oh man. All righty. I think Tommy, you got a trivia for us?
I do, yeah. So I will preface this one by saying this is like a little bit of an interesting question here. You'll see in a second. I couldn't find like consistent data, so I will say this is via sportstrack.com. So if you have any disputes with what they have on there, you can go ahead and run it up with them. But I did find out that Jared Goff through 2024 is the 13th highest paid player in NFL history. And so I'm wondering if you guys can name the 12 people that have accumulated more earnings than him through the 2024 season. So anything guaranteed after that, like all that, like I don't think it counts.
Ooh, wow. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be hard too. I like this one, Tommy.
Yeah.
So
let's see what you got.
I want to start by throwing it's going to be a lot of quarterback names. It almost has to.
That'd be a ton.
So I want to start by just throwing out some big. Like Patrick Mahomes has gotten his big contract now, right?
He has.
He's actually not on here. He took a very team-friendly deal, but I like where your thought process is. Just go with good quarterbacks.
What about Dak? Didn't he get paid a ton?
Yep, Dak's number 11 on the list. He's at about 250 mil.
Oh, damn. So I didn't even get it.
No, I said top 12. Anyone over Goff, I'm counting on this list.
Oh, okay. I just got to think about. I mean, can we go Tom since he played for so long?
Yep, Tom, number 3.
Okay. All right. What about like Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson, number 4. Great pick.
Okay.
I have a question. Are there any non-quarterbacks on this list?
There are not. I have a bonus question for you at the end, though.
Okay.
Good question. What about Phillip Rivers?
Yep, number 12, last guy on the list.
Okay.
So Drew Brees almost has to be one.
Number 7.
Big Ben.
Yep, number 8.
Peyton.
Yep, number 10.
Eli.
You got the time frame nailed down. Yep, number 9.
All right. Yeah, I was honestly gonna start guessing more current guys like with Dax, but I was like, okay, like Burrow, he hasn't played for.
Yeah, you need the longevity piece in there too.
Yeah.
There's got to be some funny ones here too. Like
I think I got a funny one. No, I don't think he's on it. Kirk
No,
Cousins.
say it.
There we go. Number
that was gonna be my next pick. I was actually about to say Kirk. What number did you say he was?
5.
Kirk at 5. Kirk, go.
He's very close to 300 million in career earnings. He's probably going to get it this year, I guess. Like I said, I'm not sure what's included. Maybe guarantees from their current contracts are included, but like some future money is not included because it's said through 2024.
Okay. Oh man, what numbers are we missing?
1, 2, and 6.
1, 2, and 6. Okay.
It's shocking we haven't gotten 1 yet.
And 2. We haven't gotten the top 2. So we know those guys can't really be active. That'd be too nuts.
There are 2 active players remaining on the list.
Oh, okay.
Joe Flacco.
That's a decent guess, but no, he's not on here.
Okay.
I thought that was good.
These guys are better than that.
Better than Joe Flacco. Okay.
One of them I would still say is very good. One of them decent, but not great.
Is Matt Ryan on a roster?
That's not the guy I was talking about, but he is number 6.
Let's go. So there's 2 active.
Oh, Stafford. Stafford's got to be
Stafford's number 2.
Yeah, duh.
And I think he actually just took over the number 1 spot like this year, I want to say. But like I said, there's a lot of conflicting stuff online on these earnings, so I'm not 100% sure.
Who is old that we're missing?
This has to be such a blatantly obvious name, and it's killing me.
I know. I don't want to like look at the teams because I feel like I might get it if I do.
You will. I'll wait if you guys don't want to hit, but I do have one that I think could probably help without totally giving it away.
Give me like 10 more seconds.
This is gonna kill me.
I know, right? Is your hint like he's like a backup or something? Actually, don't say it.
He is a starter. I was gonna say this is his first year with his current team.
Oh golly!
Yeah, jeez.
How didn't we get that one?
Man. Shout out Yost. I feel like anytime there's a Steeler, I just do not get them.
Oh my goodness. We
Wow.
forgot about A-Rod, man.
Yep,
That's
number 1,
crazy.
about 380 million in career earnings. So not too bad there. Plenty of ayahuasca trips you can buy with that type of money. So
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was literally going through each division. And I was like, okay, Bengals, Ravens, Browns. Then I went to Colts, Jags, Titans. I just didn't even think about Steelers. Like, god damn.
all right, well, I do have a bonus question for you as well. Nichols did ask if it was all quarterbacks, which it is. Number 14 on this list is actually not a quarterback. So the highest earning non-quarterback. Any guesses for what that is or who that is?
So my immediate thought is it almost has to be a defensive player.
I do like where your head's at. That's not a skill position player. It's an offensive lineman, though.
Okay. Oh,
Whitworth.
Trent Williams.
Yes, there you go.
Which one?
Which one?
What do you mean?
He said Whitworth. He said Whitworth. I said Trent Williams.
I didn't even hear Colin say Whitworth. It's Trent Williams.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That didn't even come through my computer. I was like, you're like, which one? I was like, what are you talking about? Are there multiple Trent Williams that are really good in the NFL history or something?
No, he is arguably, if you want to go like non-quarterback positions, I think could make an argument as the best NFL player ever, non-quarterback.
Certainly
he is so dominant at left tackle.
I think you could also make an argument for he's my number one pick for a guy that I want at a bar with me if I ever say anything or get in any sort of trouble.
He is a ride or die teammate. That is one thing I love about that guy.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe that one night where you got punched by the homeless guy would have been helpful if we had Trent Williams by our side, but unfortunately it wasn't.
I have zero clue what we're talking about, but great trivia question. Great job, Nichols. That was a fun one. I at first I was like, oh God, I don't know how this is gonna go. And then we kind of got on a roll. So
we just needed to find the era that that once we got that, but losing on A-Rod or forgetting A-Rod, that is unforgivable. We
totally should have got it all.
That's bad. To the people at home, I'm sorry for that one. I'm sorry.
He's a weird one because he fits like the older era, like with Tom Brady and all those guys, but like he's still playing, so you don't think of him as like a current guy, you know. So yeah, but once you guys got like Tom Brady and Drew Brees, like wheels were up, just getting the era. So good work there.
Absolutely. Alrighty, I think that takes us into best bets. We'll recap real quick. Let's see. So I went 1-1 last week. Lost a little bit of juice there, minus 0.15 units on the week, but we're up plus 4.63 units on the year. We had Lions team total over 27.5, and then I threw the money line in there. We won't talk about that one. We got the loss there. Then we had Indiana Jones over 245.5 passing yards. He murdered this, but at a moment it actually looked a little scary. Just with all his picks and fumbles. So we'll take the 1-1 week and move on.
Yeah, tough one there for the Lions. Our offensive line really didn't hold up too well against the Vikings front, which maybe not super shocking, but then we also have Johnny Screens over there holding his Denny sheet at offensive coordinator, calling screen passes and runs up the middle on 3rd and 10. So yeah, we didn't end up getting the points there or the win. So tough one there. Sorry for the bettors this week in general. Not a great week for us. This week I went 1-2, so lost 1.3 units. Still up about 2 on the year though, luckily. The one that did hit was actually the 49ers versus the Giants, which I think me and Colin agreed that this was kind of the scariest of my 3 bets, but it was actually the one that ended up cashing. Jaguars -3 versus the Raiders. Didn't end up going to overtime, so if the Jaguars could have held the Raiders up on their first possession in overtime, this one would have looked a lot better. And if they had the old overtime rules in, this one would have cashed. So tough blow there. Chargers -9.5 against the Titans. You want to talk about a tough blow. This team gave up 2 defensive special team touchdowns in the first half and still almost covered. So this one should have been a breeze, but freaking Justin Herbert threw a terrible pick and then they had a punt return. So tough look there. We'll move on to next week. I still feel pretty good about the picks we made, so we're happy to try to get the momentum back here.
I was going to say absolutely brutal, but our luck's about to change. We're ready this week.
Tanish, out of respect, we won't recap your picks this week, but we're happy to have you on picks. You did a good job on Love Hate.
did a great job on Love Hates. All right. Tommy, you want to go first for me?
Why don't you go first? I've only really got like 2 of my picks I'm going to lump together, so you kind of got 3. I've only really got like 2 things to say.
I got you. All right. First pick. We're going back to the Lions team total over. Didn't get the job done last week, and it's a little bit higher this week at 29.5, -108 odds. Plain and simple. Tough week last week for the Lions. Dan Campbell's going to be pissed off. And this just feels like a 40 bomb waiting to happen. Commanders obviously in a tough spot right now. Jaden Daniels just got hurt. This team has a bad record. The season's basically over. They're not going to be fired up. Lions are hanging 40. Take it to the house.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're going to the game. I've got a pick just like this. Maybe I'll say it as well. I got Lions -9.5 against the Commanders. Nothing more to add. We're going to the game coming off a bad week. Jaden Daniels is now out. I think the line should be able to cover. I am kind of scared because we've looked like shit, but the Commanders' defense has also looked like shit. So maybe we can power through there and at least win by double digits. Hopefully we just get the win since we're going. Just get the win, guys. But let's also cover.
JMO, 2 touchdowns.
When a team over is what they are averaging for the year, that's I'm gonna like that bet every time. So I like that.
They're due.
All right, Colin. Well, you did a bunch of yapping. I already finished my pick though, so back to you.
I know. Sorry. Do you want to go next?
No, that's all I have to say.
I gotcha. All right. Our next pick. We're gonna go to the Cardinals plus 6.5 at Seattle. Minus 105 odds. Looks a little weird. Obviously we don't get the plus 7. I'm really not too worried about it. This is a divisional matchup, and I'm gonna say this is a look ahead spot for the Seahawks. I know it's a divisional matchup, but Seahawks play the Rams next week. That the winner of that game is most likely going to be in first place. I'm talking about. Yeah, I am talking about the right thing. Winner of that game is probably going to be in first place of the division, and Seahawks already beat the Cardinals in Arizona this week. So I think there's a chance Seattle just completely overlooks them. They dropped 28 in the first half on Sunday or Monday night, feeling high. They're just not going to take this Cardinals team seriously, and we got my boy Brisket. I think Brisket is honestly a little bit better for the Cardinals than Kyler right now. And this team's going to come to play, and I honestly think they're on upset watch on the money line. So plus 6.5. Sorry, I talked for a little bit there.
No, this actually segues pretty well into my next couple picks as well. But these NFC West games always seem to be like rock fights. So I do kind of like just taking the underdog spread because I feel like they always kind of keep the games close. Like, for example, earlier this year, the Rams and 49ers played, and I feel like a lot of people were on the Rams. I want to say they were big favorites. But then the 49ers came out of the gates hot with Mac Jones. Goes to overtime, 49ers win. So I feel like those are the type of games we're always in for. So I feel like the underdog in these NFC West games always has a chance. All 4 teams are very solid, can win any week. So yeah, I like this pick. I'll be riding.
There we go.
Yeah, like I said, I think it segues into my last 2 picks. I'm going to read them off together because they're very similar. I've got do I have these teams mixed up? No, I got it right. So yeah, the Rams and Niners are playing this week. I've got the under 50.5 for that game. And then the Seahawks and Cardinals are playing as well. NFC West matchup, like Colin was saying. I've got the under 45.5. Like I just said, I feel like these games are always rock fights. I did pull up some stats. I don't have them up anymore, but there have been a handful of games of NFC West opponent games so far. I want to say majority of them have gone under 45.5. And one of the ones that went over was that overtime game I was just describing between the Rams and 49ers. So as long as we can keep these games in regulation, I feel pretty good about them. Like I said, all 4 of these teams are pretty good. All these division games always end up being rock fights, low scoring, stuff like that. We'll see if we can get maybe some help from Mother Nature with the weather for these unders. We'll see. Like I said, I don't have much more to add than that, though.
Dude, I got no complaints there. Like you said, divisional matchups. I know the AFC North unders are crazy in divisional matchups. I bet there's pretty similar stats here with any divisional matchup. So you hit it right on the nail. I'll be tailing.
Yeah, and they're not.
You guys, my bad. Go ahead, Tommy.
Oh, I was just gonna say they're not even like low over under totals. Right. Like 50.5 is quite high.
Whenever you guys hear like the phrase divisional matchup, does it just instantly trigger like grudge match in your head? Because that's exactly what it does to me. And the actual like visual I get is an AFC North matchup where it's just like middle of winter, just terrible weather. Like that's always what I think about. And to be honest with you, I like those games more anyway.
It triggers Steelers win 9-6 in Cleveland, and it's just the worst game ever.
Exactly. That's the exact picture it puts in my head every time I hear it.
That's awesome. Oh man. All right. Well, love the picks, Tommy. We'll come into my last pick here. We're gonna look at the most fun and best game on the slate here, and that is the Carolina Panthers versus New Orleans Saints. How about my Panthers, man? Plus 13.5 point dogs last week, beating the Packers straight up on the money line. This team is feeling great. Excellent win, and look at the division. They're sneaking up on the Bucks. So vibes are high right now. And with all that being said, We're gonna take the Saints, baby. Plus 5.5. Give me the dog. Tyler Shuck is starting for the Saints. I don't think this is bad for the Saints. I mean, Spencer Rattler, I have taken the Saints twice this year as best bet. I'm 1-on-1 on them, which is crazy to say since they're like, I think they might only have 1 or 2 wins. But Shuck is better than Rattler, honestly. I shouldn't say that. I have a couple stats here. Rattler is 25th in passing success rate and has a 65 QBR. And I just don't think Shuck can be that worse. He played last week. They didn't do good at all. They scored like 10 points. But this Panthers team really isn't that great either. They've had 2 wins that are good. Obviously, last week against the Packers, which was kind of just I don't know. It was very random. And then the Falcons, they also beat. If you look at the game following the win against the Falcons, they got blown out 30-0. I think the Saints are gonna keep this game close. It's a weird game. It's ugly. Trust it. That's all I gotta say.
I wish I could bet over and unders for screen time on Red Zone because I would hammer the under for this game. Who cares about this game at all? But no, I like the bet. I also kind of like the Saints in this. I also in these kind of just shitty, nobody's watching games. I kind of live by the fact of just bet the dog, cheer for the underdog. It's always way more fun that way. So.
Yeah, I'm a simple man. Colin picks the Saints as a best bet. I tail. Nothing more to add.
If you want to get crazy, parlay Cardinals money line, Saints money line. Don't put more than like $3 on it, but I'm telling you, they're both active on the money line this week.
I've got a feeling that I'm gonna have a couple beers in DC, and that bet will be made almost instantaneously. I got a weird feeling that's gonna happen for some reason.
And maybe a little bit more than $3. Who knows?
Right. 50 bomb. Boom. Alrighty, fellas. I think that's all we got. Nichols, appreciate you coming on. You got any closing remarks for everybody?
No, just thanks for having me. I obviously got to keep the tradition going. Have me on next year. Hell, have me on again this year. I love coming on, so love talking ball with you guys. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tommy?
I've got 2 things. So first of all, obviously, thank Nichols for coming on. It's always fun having you here. Sure, for the playoff episode, hopefully we have you back here in the studio for that at least. And then the other thing I just wanted to say to our fans, we're having a meetup this week in DC for the Lions Commanders game. So if you're going to be out there, maybe come by, have a few beers. We'll see how many people show up. We'll get that big venue for all of our fans to show up. So yeah, we'll see who makes it out there. We'll be excited to see you though.
We'll post the location like 30 minutes before. Don't want to draw too big of a crowd.
Yeah, exactly. They're renting out like a 2,000 person capacity lot. It's all for you guys.
Exactly. I think it might be a little bigger actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it might have been 3,000. You're right.
Yeah, I think there's something like that.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, thanks again, Nichols. Good luck to everybody in the Shovel Mitch League. Big Lions fans this week. Go Lions and bleed blue, baby.